Okay, when it comes to open reduction internal fixation of a wrist, that's an ORIF of a distal radius. It's really simple, guys. First of all, in most of these cases, you will have a rip. Okay, you will have a rip. Second of all, don't get fixated on one set tray. The trays may differ depending on the surgeon's preference. And third, if you don't know what to do, just breathe, relax, relate, release, because it's really simple. This is a Synthes ORIF of a distal radius set. Very simple. All the instrumentation is at the top. Now, you know, when you're dealing with a fracture, think it through. What are the things you're going to need? You're going to have to reduce the fracture, correct? So what instruments are you going to use to reduce the fracture? You're going to need either some point-to-point clamps or what we call lobster claws. Pretty much they look similar to regular towel clips. At least the point-to-point clamps favor the towel clips, but don't get it twisted. There is a slight difference. Okay, now that we got the clamps to reduce the fracture, ask yourself, what are you going to need to hold that fracture in place? Now, I can go in detail, but we're just going to stick to the basics. Remember, you have a rep. So all you need is a drill bit, a screwdriver, and you need a depth gauge. And don't forget, you need power to put in the screws. This is where a cordless drill come in. Now let's get into this setup. I normally work off my back table. I do not use a Mayo stand for ORIFs of a wrist. Now, for you by the book people, this is not set in stone. This is just a basic setup that I use when I'm working with surgeons I've never worked with before. Now, if you've been rocking with me since the beginning, you know what I say. Knife, pickup, scissors, retractors. I still utilize this setup every single time, no matter the case. The instruments may change, but the method stays the same. Also, too, if you notice my back table, it's still set up in the 3 sections. The middle section is what I just showed you with my instrumentation. Knife, pickup, scissors, retractors. Now we're going into my first section, okay? This is my sponges, saline, and sharps. Where you saw my Synthes set, that was my third section, the overflow section or an extra instrument tray. Now let's go back to the basic instrumentation that you will need just to get to the fracture. Now when it comes to wrist fractures, you don't need large instruments. You can get away with medium or small. Now listen to me, because I'm going to give you what's T. You need a marking pen because most likely they're going to mark their incision before they make one. You're going to need a 15 blade, one for skin and one for D. Adsons with teeth or brown. Metzenbaum scissors or tenotomies. Ragnalls or Sen retractors. Some surgeons may prefer self-retaining retractors, so you may need some baby Wheatlanders or baby Gilpins. And you can't go wrong with throwing up a freer or a key elevator. And now you know how to do a basic setup for an ORIF of a distal radius. Now for the sake of time, I couldn't go into great detail about this case, but at least you know the basics. Don't say I ain't never done nothing for you. Peace.